GM Zinger Nation, welcome back to Moon or Bust, your home for all things crypto at Benzinga. We've got a great show coming up for you today. We're going to be talking about the crypto markets. Is the bottom in? Is now a good time to buy? We will find out in just a second. We're also going to be looking at some NFTs and talking about what Justin Bieber's purchase means for the market. Ryan, what else do we got going on today's show?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the markets. That's how we're going to kick things off. Look at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum, as we always do. Seems like we're still in a bear market, but we are getting some relief, so that's really good to see. But first things first, Logan, happy Mutant Monday. It's a good Mutant Monday for sure. We got to a 27 ETH floor. I'm sure we'll be covering that today, along with some other NFT content, so I'm excited for that. Not to mention our interview with Matthew Liu coming up at 2:30 p.m., the co-founder of Origin Protocol, and they're releasing their NFT platform tomorrow, and we're giving all of you a sneak peek into the platform, so stay tuned for that for sure.
Yeah, Matthew is a great guest. We've had him on before. Origin Protocol is doing some super cool things with a lot of A-list celebrities. So excited to have him on in a little bit. Drop a comment down below. Let us know what you're thinking about the market right now, what coins or NFT projects you were looking at, and make sure to smash the like button. As always, if you're enjoying the show, it helps out a lot on our end. But let me pull up the Bitcoin chart. We can just get right into it. So Ryan, I have the 4-hour candles pulled up, pulling them up. Can you see them?
I can, yeah, and it looks like we're right at resistance with that line you drew, Logan. I absolutely love it when you draw these lines. It always works out so well. But yeah, I mean, it looks like we are getting a relief rally right now, but we are only up about 10-15% from the local lows. And we've saw this before. You know, a couple weeks ago we had a bounce, and a few weeks before that we had a bounce. But if you zoom out over the past like 3 months now, really since November, we have been in a downtrend. And even though some altcoins are popping off, I mean, the cryptocurrency markets are in a bear market. Let's call it how it is. Look at this downtrend. I mean, it's been going on now for 3 or 4 months.
Not good at all. But we are attempting another breakout today. At least it looks like it. We've tried this before, end of December, rejected hard. We tried this before, end of January, I guess middle of January, rejected ultra hard. Okay, we got sent back down very quickly after this fake out, right? So here we are today in a very similar situation. Ryan, is this a bull trap or a bear trap?
I think it's too early to tell, Logan. I think it's still a couple weeks out from knowing whether this is a bear trap or if the bull market will continue. We're just barely above that line you drew, so only time will tell. But I'm really hoping we are out of it. But if we're not, I think NFTs will see a bull run continue over the next few months. We said that, right? We said that when we got rejected off of the bull market support band. You know, these fungible cryptocurrencies probably will slow down over the next few months, but that's okay because there's still opportunity in the markets, especially in NFTs, because we've seen this now time and time again. This is probably the third time for like over a month that we've seen cryptocurrency cool down, but during that time we saw NFTs take off. So that's really interesting to keep an eye on. And you know, once crypto picks back up, I'll probably reallocate a little bit heavier to crypto. But for the time being, I am happy being pretty heavily allocated in NFTs.
Yeah, same here, Ryan. Earning that alpha on my ETH, getting my ETH bags up while crypto is down low. Hopefully, we'll be able to take some profits into ETH before ETH goes to 5K plus later this year. Brock in the chat says Mana is popping off. Let's take a look at Mana next. Let us know what other coins you want us to look at. Drop them in the comments below. And if you are interested in Mana, let us know with smashing the like button. Up 15% today. Holy shit, what happened?
They're creating a metaverse.
Yeah, Ryan, I know Decentralized is a metaverse, but why is it up today?
I did not see any news regarding Mana today, so I'm not sure. I mean, it might just be the markets. It is up 13% against Bitcoin and 11% against Ethereum too, so it really is outperforming right now. Definitely one to keep your eye on. Logan, did you see how Paris Hilton was on Saturday Night Live, or was it the Tonight Show? It was SNL, right? It was with Jimmy Fallon.
It was the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Yeah.
Tonight Show. My bad. Yeah, that was really interesting. And actually, Paris Hilton is releasing her NFTs on Origin Story. So I just wanted to mention that before the interview, which is coming up at 2:30. That's one of the big releases happening this week on Origin's protocol.
stay tuned for that and more. But let's talk about the mutant apes, the Bored Apes, Ryan. We see here mutant apes are at 27 ETH floor. What the heck happened? Tell me about Justin Bieber. What's going on right now?
This is absolutely ridiculous, and I think this is part the Justin Bieber effect, but I think it's also part the Bored Ape Yacht Club for getting to 100 Ethereum. Now it's at like 115 Ethereum, but let's cover that Justin Bieber news first. So Justin Bieber got a lot of the Bored Ape Yacht Club members a little bit salty last week when he purchased the 9,997th least rare ape on the market for 500 Ethereum. So this is one of the largest purchases. I think it was in the top 10 biggest purchases for an ape. It was for one of the least rare apes. So I've said this for a long time, but rarity really isn't everything. I think the aesthetic of his ape was really good, super clean, just a black t-shirt, brown fur, nice clean face. But the interesting part is that it was Bored Ape, I'm pretty sure number 3001, but the number corresponded with his home address. So, you know, Justin Bieber has a boatload of money. So he saw that, you know, Bored Ape Yacht Club number 3001 was for sale. He said, hey, that's my address. I'll spend 500 ETH on that. So that's exactly what he did. Definitely wasn't worth that to most people, but it was to Justin Bieber. So that's the beauty of non-fungibility right there.
Yeah, it is. When I see my address, I often spend 500 ETH as well. So it looks like Justin Bieber's wallet's tagged on OpenSea now.
Let's take a look
Hello. 3 more apes?
No, fake
these
apes
fake?
from scammers. Yeah.
Collab with Adidas. Darn. I got bamboozled.
Yeah, and it's not a real collab with Adidas either. That's a fake collab with Adidas. So this happens a lot actually with celebrities that buy NFTs. They'll track those wallets and then people will send fake NFTs to them to promote their collection. You know, people will see, oh, Justin Bieber owns all these apes. They must be real, even though the price is, you know, far below the actual Bored Ape floor. They'll go check out the collection and maybe get a few sales from it. So definitely watch out for that scam going on right now on OpenSea.
Yeah, keep your eyes on that. And I just want to see here, Justin Bieber's wallet, as soon as it's identified as his, let's see the amount of transactions. People have been sending him NFTs like crazy. 47. Yeah, look at that. Can you see the timestamps on here?
Is this all right after he bought that ape?
This is as of right now. So yeah, it's all after he bought the ape. People are just sending him a ton of spam. So, you know, be careful. Some of these tokens can be a little bit malicious. So make sure you are not interacting with any contracts you don't want to interact with.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a very pressing question in the chat. Mike Moffitt asked, did you get an ape, Ryan? Unfortunately not. If you squint your eyes, look really closely, if you have high resolution, right here, right in the corner, I actually put an asterisk because, you know, I don't want to scam anybody. I don't want to fool anyone. So right in the corner right there with a pen, little asterisk, it says right-click saved. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's right here. It says right-click saved in parentheses for now because I'm going to get it eventually. I just can't really afford it right now. But yeah, it actually just sold for 100 ETH on OpenSea. So it went to a new owner. I'm tracking that wallet. You know, one day I'll connect with him, hopefully get the Bored Ape that corresponds with my mutant ape, but not right now, unfortunately.
You screenshotter, you.
I am
can't believe you did that.
I'm an art appreciator. I understand that I'm not making money and I don't own the NFT, but you know, some people have copies of art in their house. I think it's okay.
This goes to show that NFTs are a scam. This is proof.
That's proof right there.
Checkmate.
I'm sorry, G Money. I'm sorry, NFT community. I'm not on your side anymore, I guess.
All right. Ryan, speaking of new purchases, have you bought anything since last week?
Yeah, I was actually hinting on it on the show last week, but I got myself a killer girlfriend. You know, I never thought I'd see the day where I get a girlfriend, but you know, last week was the day when I spent 1.5 ETH on an NFT. So I have a killer girlfriend in my collection now. I was really banking on the art being super cool for those, but I think they look too similar. It's kind of hard to tell the rare ones from the non-rare ones, and you know, the floor went up a little bit till around 2 ETH. It's back down to right around 1.5. But I don't think I'm going to keep it that long. You know, I don't know if I can keep a girlfriend. You know, we'll see what happens. It might not be a good investment, so I might reallocate my money into something else other than a killer girlfriend.
I mean, the least you could do is put a picture of her up on your wall next to your monkeys, okay?
Yeah, maybe one day. We'll see. If I hold on to it, she might get on the wall.
Oh God. All right, let's take a look at the price of ETH. Let me pull it up real quick. Here we go. I drew a little bit more silly line on this chart. I don't even know where to try to draw this one, but NFTs, demand for NFTs has been protecting ETH from the downside that Bitcoin has seen. But we'll see if it can last, if it can hold up. I think long term, it's probably going to be really good. Demand for DeFi applications based on Ethereum, demand for more NFTs based on Ethereum, demand for scaling in layer 2 based on Ethereum, all going to drive demand for ETH. And as you know, it's just supply and demand. So Ryan, what are you thinking? I guess it's the same
I'm
fake out versus
thinking
breakout. It's going to be determined by Bitcoin. You agree?
I'm thinking it's pretty similar. You might have drawn that line too low. I think there might be a better price target to look at for a breakout. We did spend some time, yeah, exactly, right there. We spent some time there below the bull market support band, or what Benjamin Cowan now calls the bear market resistance band. But yeah, I mean, we spent some time there about a month ago. And what's the price at if we can get back up to that line you just moved on the chart, Logan?
If we could do it, within the next couple days, it'd be just under 3,000, 2950. But then we'd have to
Okay.
go through the 3,000 psychological resistance, which is going to be another tough one.
Yeah. So I think $3,000 is probably a good price target to have to see if we can reverse and flip bullish for Ethereum. But really, Bitcoin is the king of the market. So I'd keep my eye on Bitcoin to be telling of the general markets. But yeah.
All right. Much appreciated there, Ryan. Speaking of appreciation, crypto meditation out there in the chat. You're welcome. Happy to give you the crypto picks. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to smash the like button, and we'll keep it coming for you. Apparently, Sand is also ripping. Do you want to look at Sand, or do you want to look at some more NFTs?
We can look at Sand. That's interesting that Mana and Sand are both ripping. I mean, they are correlated to each other, being that they're both building out metaverse cryptocurrencies, metaverse land. But there has to be some type of news going on right now in the metaverse space for both of these coins to be ripping. So if anybody knows in the chat why you think Sand and Mana are ripping, let us know, because they are up 15%. Something has to be happening that I'm not aware of. I'm going to try and figure that out right now while you pull up the chart, Logan.
It could be carryover effect from the Justin Bieber Bored Ape purchase. Like we're seeing the Bored Ape, Mutant Ape floors ripping, a bunch of other blue chip projects. These two could just be, bunched in with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fair. If we don't see any other news, I think it's pretty fair to assume that this focus on NFTs is what's driving up these metaverse cryptos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sandbox doing well today. Let's see what else. Let's take a look at the top 100. All right, Ryan. Anything? Wait, hold on. I got to get my screen aligned so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Can you see the name? No.
Nope.
There we go. We'll call that good. Yeah.
That works.
All right. Let's see. Solana up 5%, getting close to 100 again. Terra 51.51. Jeez. Now
We did
that
call
is
out
interesting.
Solana. We did
That
call
is
out
interesting.
Solana last week. We did look at Terra as well, but I remember we did say it what looked like a pretty good buy opportunity at right around $75. So that's cool to see it bounced. But yeah, like we said before, Bitcoin is king. So we're gonna have to see what Bitcoin does over these next few weeks to see where these altcoins may be going.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Anything else with some unusually big gains? Uniswap up 7% today. Back to $11, man. I missed the glory days of Uniswap, 20, $30. You think we're ever going to see those again?
Dude, we were up to $45 for Uniswap at one point. This is absurd at $11.72. I mean, I'm about to cry right now. Uniswap is one of my bigger altcoin positions. I was very bullish on it, but I mean, the DeFi markets, what do you think of the DeFi markets, man? It seems like they've been in even more of a bear market than other cryptocurrencies. At least altcoins focused on the metaverse have been ripping. At least layer one smart contracts saw huge gains in the last part of 2021. But really, we haven't seen any bullish action on any of these DeFi tokens. Uniswap's down, SushiSwap's down, Aave's been down bad too. Everything in the DeFi space really has been down since around May. The first time Bitcoin really skyrocketed to over $60,000 is when we saw the tops for most of these DeFi cryptos. Like, what do you think is going to be the catalyst for these DeFi cryptos to come back? Or do you think that, they're screwed, they're valueless governance tokens at this point? Because there's a lot of different ways to look at it, and I'm not sure which one's best.
Let's take a look at the decentralized exchange metrics on Ethereum provided by Glassnode. We can take a look and see the total liquidity, total value locked on these platforms, and also the total number of users. I think that this might be a better indicator of where we will be headed throughout the rest of this year. So over the past 12 months, let's see. I think I'm going to have to change the layout real quick so we can get all the data. Okay, so in the last year, the total liquidity on Uniswap is down bad. What do you make of this chart, Ryan?
Well, it's priced in US dollars, right? And a lot of these tokens that are staked on Uniswap are DeFi tokens. So naturally, this price will be going down. When Uniswap was $45, we probably had around $7.5 billion locked on Uniswap, but now it's at $11, which is about a 75% decrease. And we've seen about a 75% decrease, albeit, Uniswap's not the only token on Uniswap, but that's just one example. I think people are probably moving their funds over to layer 2s though, Logan. I think that's one answer because this only shows layer 1, Ethereum's mainnet. And they're picking up a lot of liquidity on Polygon. They're also on Arbitrum and Optimism. So they're on at least 4 networks now, and the liquidity is kind of getting spread out between those networks.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think another interesting thing I noticed is that it follows this chart very closely because, like you said, a lot of it is priced in ETH. However, there was one moment where we saw a huge breakout, and that was the first time ETH went over $2,000. As soon as that happened, shoot ton of liquidity flew into the market, probably to try to collect the trading fees all the way through down to the top. Then right after the top, all that liquidity was pulled. Seems like this could be a good metric for maybe some whales. They see something going on. Could be interesting here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also think when the merge happens and when fees are lowered on Ethereum over the next few years, that could be a catalyst for Uniswap too. Because right now, the liquidity providers that are putting in all their tokens to Uniswap's protocol, they're the ones making money on 0.3% of the transactions that go through Uniswap. So as more people trade on Uniswap or on SushiSwap, they earn more money. And as fees go down on these platforms, more and more people are going to be wanting to trade on decentralized exchanges. So I think it makes sense that when fees go down, trading will go up on these decentralized exchanges, and therefore incentivize more people to add liquidity to these platforms. But it looks like SushiSwap is in a pretty similar situation right now. They were up to right around $1.5 billion, and now they're down to just over $500 million of liquidity locked in their platform. So it looks like they're both down about 75% from the top. All right, Logan. DeFi is making me sad. The numbers go down. I like to look at things where the numbers go up. So how about we look at something where the numbers go up? Let's make some money, not lose some money, right?
All right. Back to NFTs, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Let us know in the chat what you guys want to see. Where's the number going up?
Well, we covered mutants. We didn't look at Bored Apes yet. I think that we should look at Bored Apes because they've been absolutely ripping. It was just yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, we hit 100 ETH floor. Twitter was blowing up that we finally hit 100 Ethereum for the first time for Bored Ape Yacht Club. But now we're at 117 Ethereum, so another 17% returns in terms of Ethereum too, not in terms of USD. So that's great to see. Ethereum has been up the past couple days. So if you're into NFTs where the Ethereum price is going up, then you're making even more money. That's awesome. But let's see what's for sale, Logan. I heard the price floor is extremely thin. Probably just a few sales away from 120 ETH, and I bet not too many away from 130 ETH at this point.
All right, here we go.
So we got three more sales away from 120 ETH. The price floor is pretty thin. You like the one on the floor right now, Logan?
This one's not bad.
I like the one on the second one. The second one
here.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity of it.
I like it.
This one's not bad either. It reminds me of little babies.
Yeah.
This one's like an M&M kind of. That one's nice. The posty. Dang, these are so cool.
Maybe we should look at rankings, Logan, see what's trending. You know, some NFT collections with lower floor prices for us who can't yet afford a Bored Ape. Azuki was one I was looking at last week. That one was a anime collection focused on the Asian market, and it absolutely ripped. It was at around 1 to 1.5 ETH. Once they released their art, it went up to around 8 Ethereum, 7 to 8 Ethereum, and it's been holding up really strong since then. Pretty unique collection. I like the art here, but I'm not getting in at this price. What do you think, Logan?
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting in at this price either, simply because I can't afford to. But I do think the art style is really cool. I haven't seen many like this before.
And speaking of apes, before we move too far away, Logan, 3 gold apes were sold over the weekend. One of them for 1,080 ETH. That was a record sale for Bored Ape Yacht Club. So let's see if we can find those sales. See maybe which wallets got to buy those golden Bored Apes. I'm really surprised that 3 sold. I didn't know they were that liquid. Maybe they were just listed at really high prices, but I think we should take a look at it, because when you look at those rare crypto punks, people are holding on to those for dear life. At this point, we're not really seeing any apes sell. We're not seeing any aliens sell, and we'll see the occasional zombie sell, you know, every couple weeks or so. But these gold apes are the rarest in the collection, and we saw 3 sell over the weekend, so that was surprising to me.
Did you hear about the DAO that might be selling off like 80 plus Bored Ape yacht clubs?
Yeah, that was really interesting too. The Ape DAO is considering selling off 80 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs from their collection. I'm pretty sure that's everything in the DAO. So I think they're considering liquidating the DAO, which, I mean, at this point, you might as well take it to a vote. The people in the DAO have made insane returns off of those 80 apes. I'm not quite sure when they bought them, but I'm sure they're up big on them. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Vote on it as a DAO. If the majority wants to hold on to them, maybe wait for the ape token airdrop, then so be it. But if they want to take profits, then that's what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull up the ape DAO while you comment on this, Logan.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know, like, what type of signal are you looking for to exit the NFT market back into ETH?
I think it's a lot of fundamental things to happen before I sell my ape. It really depends. I think for the general NFT market, I'll be looking at cryptocurrencies. If crypto becomes bullish again, then I think a lot of people will be selling their NFTs to get into crypto. But as for Bored Ape and Mutant Ape Yacht Club, I'm waiting for the ape token airdrop. I think that will be huge. I think the token dynamics around Bored Ape Yacht Club's ape token will be huge, a big price driver for the NFTs. So I want to see that. I also want to see Instagram and Facebook make their NFT platforms. That was recently announced a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited for that. I think that'll be a huge catalyst for NFTs. And then lastly, I want to see Coinbase's NFT platform. I think a lot of people hold money on Coinbase, probably more than you think, and they're, you know, too afraid right now to take it out into a MetaMask wallet or some other wallet where they can't just call up customer service and say, hey, where did my ETH go? So I think that will really be a huge catalyst for NFTs in general, especially the ones listed on their marketplace.
Couldn't agree more. Were you able to find anything on the DAO?
I'm on their Twitter right now. They're the 3rd largest Bored Ape Yacht Club holder in existence. Very cool to see. And they're also the 4th largest Mutant Ape holder in existence. I'm trying to find a link to their DAO right now. I see some docs. I don't see their actual DAO though. Let me see. So Logan, do you think that if this vote passes and they decide to liquidate their 80 apes, is that going to be bearish for Bored Ape Yacht Club? I think maybe in the short term the answer is yes, but what do you think of this? What do you make of this?
I mean, we've seen so much price increase lately. There's going to be people that need to take profits off the table simply to pay their bills, right? And so at some point, we're going to see a blow off top. This could be it itself. You know, this one DAO sale liquidation could, you know, send us temporarily back below 100 ETH floor. But I mean, it's not necessarily going to be like, you know, the entire market turns bearish just over what this one one DAO decides to do.
It's not like Michael Saylor selling his Bitcoin. I mean, it's the ape DAO with a bunch of people together who bought some apes deciding to take profits. So I agree with you there. Definitely interesting, though. Let's try and find those golden board apes before we bring Matt Liu on from Origin Story to tell us about their NFT platform and the Paris Hilton release coming up. I think it's actually this week on Thursday.
I'm curious to know. What's
okay,
up,
well, I'm curious too. Can I go first?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Thank you, sir. So I asked you this the other day, Logan. You must have been sleeping because you didn't respond. But do you think that there's going to be a Bored Ape crash in April to May? Because that's when they've been out for a year and people can claim long-term capital gains on them. So 15% instead of 30, 35%. And a lot of people got in April and May.
I'm not convinced that there's going to be a crash just based off of the tax, deadline. But I do think that the macro trends will, probably play out, somewhere around that time, right?
I agree.
Our Bitcoin and ETH consolidation can really only last so long, especially if we see the spot ETF come out. There's going to be a lot of money pumping into the fungible tokens, and the USD prices, which I think it's safe to say now are what people are using for NFTs, will be way up, and people are going to start taking profits on their NFTs for that reason. And then also the tax incentive is just going to be another big bonus on top of that. So it's going to be one important catalyst. I definitely think you are onto something there. But do I think it alone will cause it? Probably not. Kind of a toss-up.
I think that's a good take.
Thank you, sir. And
so do
my
we
second screen just disconnected.
Do we have Matt backstage, or do we have a couple minutes to try and find those gold apes that sold for 1,080 Ethereum, a couple others a little bit below 1,000 ETH? Let me pull up OpenSea, check it out.
Sorry, guys, my monitor disconnected. 1 second. We do not have Matt backstage yet. We're chilling for the meantime. But yeah, let me filter by the golden apes real quick for you here. All right, fur, golden, solid gold. Only 46 solid gold bored apes. And oh yeah, so here's what I was curious about earlier. I want to know, does the Moon or Bust audience, do you guys hold NFTs? Do you guys care about NFTs? We look at Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club a lot. And maybe it's not exactly apparent why. In my opinion, it's kind of like how we follow Bitcoin first before looking at the rest of the altcoins. If you want a good leading indicator on where the NFT market could be going, that is where I go. I look at Bored Ape Yacht Club to see. That's like the blue chip, the Bitcoin, and it's leading the way so far as I can tell. Ryan, you think that makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
This is great. All right, let's see.
Someone needs to pick up this floor golden ape, guys. In the chat, if you have 690 ETH to spare, then go ahead, pick up that one, because the next one up from that is 1,333 ETH. So you could really raise the floor with that one. If I had 690 ETH, I'd probably be buying that ape right now. But alas.
So speaking of ape holders, Matthew Liu, I think, is one of them, and he is our guest from Origin Protocol today. I'm going to get him added to the stream right now. My monitor's just disconnected again, so give me 1 second to figure out what I got going on here. There we go. All righty. All right, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Matthew Liu. Oh, he's got the Bored Ape Yacht Club hoodie on today. I love it. Let's go. Matt, how's it going? How you been?
It's going amazing.
Hey, Ryan, how? Yeah, your audio sounds a little bit funny on my end. Ryan, are you hearing that as well?
Yeah, it's picking up here too. It's a little bit hard to hear. I don't know if you can mess with the audio.
Let's see. if you click on the settings, double check your audio source. If it looks good, then maybe try a quick refresh.
All right, why don't I just jump out and jump back in?
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Should be
Ryan,
fun.
where's your Bored Ape Yacht Club drip?
It's in the laundry right now. It's white, and I might have spilled a drink on it. So, yeah.
Okay. No. Does that make it a 1 of 1?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it more
It's
rare?
Maybe more rare, but definitely not more valuable.
You don't have any mints coming out today, Ryan?
No mints coming out today that I know of. I know Invisible Friends we've mentioned a couple times. That's a really big NFT mint coming out in February. So stay on the lookout for that. It is really hard to get on the whitelist though. So, do your digging in the Discord.
Matt?
Hey, I'm back. How's this now?
So much
better.
better. Great.
Amazing.
Thank you. Glad to have you back on. And I know it's been a while, but I'm excited to hear about all the cool things Origin Protocol has been up to lately. I remember last time it was, the pioneering project with Blau that we were talking about. You guys have done so much since then. So yeah, I mean, if you want to just kick us off with a little bit of background, anyone who missed the last show, fill us in on first yourself, Matthew, your incredible background, and then also Origin Protocol, what it is, why you started it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for having me. Love the community that you guys have had, and every single time we're here, it's just such a great conversation. So my name is Matthew Liu. I'm one of the co-founders of Origin Protocol. First started dabbling in Bitcoin and blockchain in about 2012, but really around 2014, when Ethereum was doing its crowd sale, that's when I started really paying attention to the tech. And it took a number of exposures because it isn't the most obvious thing, even to people that are really into crypto. And so it took a couple of years, but eventually Josh, my co-founder, and I decided, hey, it's time to go all in, right? And so we started Origin in 2017. The initial mission was always to enable commerce on the blockchain and to create these marketplaces that allowed all different types of people to sell and trade different types of goods and services. And so we've been around for quite a while, and we've been building and building and building. Throughout all that, we also ended up realizing that our initial vision, while super grand, also needed a bit of a refinement, right? How do you actually zone in on specific verticals and areas where people actually care, where people are Web3 and crypto native, where you can actually almost create a toehold for what we're trying to build. And so that's when we started focusing on NFTs. So I remember quite clearly, it was the end of 2020 when we decided to build this brand new NFT platform with our good friend and now advisor and also longtime Origin investor, Justin Blau, better known as just, DJ Blau. And so we started working on this project end of 2020 and launched in the first quarter of 2021. And this was the first time that anyone had really done a bespoke NFT offering on their very own website. One of the differentiating features of what we do is allow creators to launch wherever they want to, whenever they want to, on their own terms. And the very first time we did this was with Justin. And at the time, it actually set records, right? So that was the largest NFT sale of all time at end of February and March last year, $11.7 million. To many, it was also a time that ushered in a lot of new creators into the space. A lot of people that are musicians or producers or athletes or brands or celebrities, beyond just the very crypto native NFT artists, more and more people started paying attention from that moment onwards. And from there, we've been quite busy the past year. We've built out our NFT platform and rebranded it as Story. So Story.xyz is where the platform is at now. And we're getting super, super, super close to being able to unveil this to the general public. And the mission here is, why do we still have like these gatekeepers, right? So right now you either have to have your own engineers and to build your own custom smart contracts in order to do a drop, or you drop on one of these drop sites, such as Nifty Gateway or Maker's Place, etc. And I actually, love all of those companies and the products they've built. But one of the annoying things, if you're an up and coming creator, is that you may not be able to get a drop date. It may take you, 2-3 months to get a date, and you may have to, refine your drop to their liking. Alternatively, you can try to build out your own drop site. That takes quite a bit of work. And so what we're trying to do is enable any creator to be able to sell NFTs on their own terms with their own smart contracts to guarantee that creator provenance, but also be able to then figure out exactly how they want to brand it and control the experience. That's what Story is all about.
That's awesome. And Origin Story is actually launching this week, correct, Matthew?
Yeah, so we can give a bit of a sneak peek at some of the features, but we're really, really excited to be opening this up to everyone in the very, very immediate future. And then from there, we're also going to be showcasing some of the marquee launch partners that we have that are going to be doing drops on the Story platform. And really, really cool thing here is you're going to see a couple of these NFT drops that are being used by tier A names, but that very same technology is going to be available to pretty much anyone that's interested in making NFTs.
That's awesome. Are you able to share your screen to see some of these cool features coming out?
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Give me just 1 second.
And I don't know if you're able to discuss any of the celebrity names, but I heard one of them on the Tonight Show the other day. And they actually gave you a shout out.
Yeah. So we can talk about that one while I queue this up really quickly. So you guys see the screen. Yeah, we're very fortunate to be working with Paris Hilton, who pretty much is the original creator in the creator economy, right? She's the original influencer that was able to usher in this entire movement of people having these digital identities that other people follow. And Paris obviously has an extremely savvy business background, as well as an entertainment and fashion background. And she's able to create all these different business lines. Pretty much is like a empire in a sense, right? But we're very thrilled to be working with her. She's one of our investors in OGN, as well as an advisor, helping us figure out how to bring NFTs to more mainstream audiences. And so she teased out an NFT drop that she's going to be doing on our platform using the Story technology in conjunction with Superplastic, which I think many people in the NFT community are very, very aware of. And also there's a piece that she actually created, a physical piece that she created and then turned into an NFT that pays homage to her relationship with her new husband, Carter. And so we're very, very excited about bringing that drop to market. Again, that will be happening quite soon. There's definitely a lot of interesting mechanics with that drop that you probably haven't really seen too much. And so we're really, really excited for the community to get a look at that. One of the aspects that I can tease out is that there are different tiers to the drop, right? And the initial tier, we wanted to make it so that all of Paris's mainstream fans can participate. And so this NFT is going to be something that is at a very, very affordable price point. Credit card is going to be enabled, and we hope to bring many people into the NFT community that have never, ever even purchased an NFT in the first place, right? And so I think that's a really, really cool mechanic. In addition, these NFTs are going to have interesting properties, and there are going to be some really cool giveaways and drawings associated with them. I can't give all the details just now, but definitely look forward to that.
So you mentioned that buyers can use credit cards, which is a really cool feature on your platform. Can they also use Ethereum or USDC or other different types of tokens?
Yeah, so the default is that everyone can accept Ethereum. The creators can set up their storefront to accept Ethereum. And therefore, all the crypto natives are able to just connect the Web3 wallet and able to do their transactions in Ethereum. However, we also wanted to make it easier for mainstream audiences to participate. And so that's where the credit cards come in. The back-end payment ledger is set up so that it can also accept stable coins. In theory, in the future, we can allow different creators to accept payments in their very own tokens. And right now, the NFTs are on Ethereum layer 1, but also there's a Polygon option as well for layer 2 and cheaper NFTs to mint. And we do very much imagine a multi-chain world where, give it a couple months, and we'll be able to have Phantom NFTs, Solana NFTs, potentially different layer 2 NFTs beyond Polygon. This really is meant to be a platform that allows creators to have that ultimate choice and flexibility to run the sales that they really want to. So why don't I go ahead and give you a quick demo of how this will all work. And so you'll see that as a creator, I will use a Web 2. Oh, that's interesting. Give me 1 second. Thought I did this already.
All set. So Matthew, I'm curious, when somebody uses a credit card, do you create a wallet for them and drop it in, or do you custody it in a group wallet?
So when someone is using a credit card as a buyer, yes, NFT is going to be sent to a managed wallet. And then from there, they can always withdraw. But if someone's purchasing with a Web3 wallet, then the NFT can actually be delivered directly into their wallet right away.
That's so awesome to have both functionalities on your platform. I think that that's like the biggest barrier to entry right now, is that people don't want to take the time to figure out how to use and set up a crypto wallet. And they don't want to take the time to figure out the security behind it as well. So I think that's awesome.
It totally, I think, is like one of those interesting things where there's this very, very hot market right now for NFTs, right? And there's so much trading activity, there's so much money changing hands, there's so many creators getting into space. But when you actually look at the number of people, the number of wallets, even on OpenSea, it's a couple 100,000, right? And so we're still so far away from like this getting to the next, hundreds of millions of people in the world, right? And so this is like just the beginning for us. So let me go ahead and show you now that we've got that email verification.
I'm excited to see.
Done. So here's a test store, right? And so this is actually the creator flow. And you'll see that there's some example NFTs that we have here. There's some different places where you can customize the site. But let's say I wanted to go and edit the site, right? So an actual storefront, right? And so I can say something like Benzinga NFT drop, right? I can go ahead and upload a image here and say, let's say I'm going to do a drop that centers around, let's say, the 7 wonders of the world, right? And so now I'm customizing my storefront. But really what we really want to do is play with some NFTs, right? So you'll notice here I was playing around with a Paris Hilton NFT, but really what I want to do here is say, hey, let me actually go edit this, right? And so now I'm going to say, this is the drop that is happening this week. And let's make this a 1 of 1. We're going to do a quick message signing to basically track that my wallet is the one that is the creator of this NFT. And then there are things I can also start from scratch, right? And in this case, let me go ahead and make a NFT for one of the 7 wonders of the world. Very quickly, I'll be able to, again, put in my metadata, right? This is a 7th wonder of the world, created by renowned artists, Logan and Ryan. And I'm going to go set this as a limited edition, specify that there's going to be an edition of 25. And now there's going to be we'll charge 1 ETH for it. So as a creator, I can apply to accept USD payments via credit cards. And this should now, excuse me, you can see mobile views, right? So I just created a brand new NFT. This is how it would show in mobile. If I click into it, it would show different details. Let's go back to desktop view. And then as I finish uploading all this NFT data, I'll then want to customize my site, right? So let's say I want to go dark theme, right? I want to change the fonts, right? I just want to customize my storefront for these NFT sales. It's all super easy to do. Obviously, this is a very rush job for the demo, so it's not going to look as good as if I spent, even just 30 or 60 minutes getting started, right? And then I would be able to go here and redirect this to a domain that I own. So it could be www.matthewlee.com, or in the previous case we were talking about, it might be 1111.parishilton.com, right? Or it could be some major brand, or it could be a sports team, or it can just be an individual up-and-comer NFT artist that's able to do this all on their own website. You'll notice here in the smart contract details, this is where I would enter in information about my own smart contract, make sure that the creator information is correct. And again, right now, there's Ethereum and Polygon contracts that I can deploy. In the future, you can imagine a lot more going on over here, just different support for different chains. And you'll also be able to imagine all different types of new sale mechanics, right? So right now it's still fairly limited. We have our few main sale mechanics, but you can imagine a future, in the very near future, where we would do things like, let's do a Dutch auction, let's do a silent auction, let's change the mechanics so that the first editions are priced at a certain amount, and then as the volume increases, the price potentially changes. And then let's also look forward to think about how your very own storefronts like these can be used to power things like generative drops, right? Whether that's the PFP or gaming type experience, or just like all the new innovations that we're seeing with the different verticals. Like our ideal goal is to make this platform scalable so that it can serve all these different use cases and help creators that don't have the technical expertise per se to be able to launch their NFT stores super, super fast. And join this incredible movement that we're in.
Matthew, you have no idea how many times creators have asked me, where can I go to make an NFT project? How do I get this set up? How do I sell it? How do I launch a website? How do I, get my smart contract out there? And this has been the answer that I have been looking for, right? Like this is one of the coolest things that I've seen, and I think this is seriously going to make such a huge difference for all the creatives out there that aren't super technical and want to get started in an intuitive way. I mean, you threw in a website builder, like that's so cool to me. And you're saying everyone will be able to use this product very soon, yeah?
Yeah. Again, like we've been working with a lot of top names over the past year, right? We touched upon Paris, obviously, but we've done drops with Jake Paul. Blau was the record smasher for us, but also worked with other musicians and producers like Cashmere, Bassjackers, Don Diablo. We've worked with top NFT artists like Trevor Jones, A Lot of Money. We've done stuff with smaller up and coming artists, right? Like Ted's Little Dream actually is probably not small, but he's one of these like well-known artists that may not be mainstream, but is very well known in the NFT community. Alex Alpert, who does these amazing designs that are just like drawn so fast, right? And he makes custom shoes and custom murals. And so there's like all these different people that we've worked with, but up until now, it has been pretty much invite only. It's been a curated list, and there's been a lot of time and thought put into thinking about, okay, as we're pulling off these drops for these more established creators, how do we actually make this a scalable platform, right? And that serves two purposes. One, it allows the longer tail of people to participate, right? We want the college student that just playing around with 3D animations to be able to sell NFTs. But it also means that we can scale much more effectively as a platform to serve a bunch more tier A creators across all these different verticals, right? And one of the things that we really, really wanted to focus on, as you've seen all this on the creator side, is like, how do we also make it easy for the buyers, right? So I won't go through that demo right now, but you can imagine how someone will just go through and purchase an NFT. And again, if you're Web3 enabled, you know what you're doing. Just connect your MetaMask like you would on other dApps. This isn't technically a dApp, it's kind of this hybrid tech platform, but it's a very similar experience to that. And if you're new to NFTs, you're new to crypto, and you're like, hey, I want to actually just participate in this thing for the very first time, all you're going to need is a credit card, and you'll be able to buy your first NFTs.
Very cool. Do you see the NFT trends that are starting now having an effect on demand for, block space and network tokens later on this year?
So I think NFTs, if you even look at Google Trends last week, it was the first time that searches for NFTs increased, or sorry, like shot searches for crypto, even in general, right? And to me, NFTs are going to be bringing crypto to the mainstream. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain to me have always been like a very powerful enabling technology, but they're a little bit more esoteric for most people, right? They're more around financial instruments and trading, etc. But NFTs are something that everyone can really relate to, right? Everyone's likes art, or has a wallpaper on their desktop or their phone, or they may have collected baseball cards, or they may have traded in-game items while playing Diablo 2, like I did when I was a teenager, right? I'm dating myself, but these NFTs, right, as building blocks are much more pervasive, I think, to everyone. And so I do think there's going to be a huge explosion of people interacting with NFTs, whether it's in gaming, whether it's associated with premium luxury goods like handbags or Rolexes, or perhaps even real estate. And certainly I think one of the areas that we're most excited about is how NFTs interact with in real life experiences or digital experiences as a form of like access tokens, right? If you hold this NFT, what does it offer you in terms of privileges, right? Do you potentially get to view premium content earlier than other people, or do you get invited to certain parties, or as I alluded to earlier about our upcoming drops, are there potential drawings or raffles that you may be able to participate in by holding some of these NFTs. So I don't necessarily think that NFTs will take up a lot of block space in terms of like how much data is written on chain, especially since a lot of the NFT content and metadata is going to be written to like IPFS or Arweave, right? These decentralized distributed storage systems. However, the amount of NFT volume and mindshare, I think, is going to be absolutely phenomenal in the next couple of years.
Totally, and you're quite the NFT collector yourself. You have a super clean robot ape, as well as hundreds of other NFTs. I'm curious to know, Matt, what other collections are you bullish on in 2022?
Oh, so I'm bullish on a lot. So obviously, I think Bored Apes and Mutant Apes are, amazing, right? To me, it's like that's going to be like the Disney, right, coming out of Web3. Obviously, very different artwork, but that type of IP, that type of community, that type of fanaticism by holders, as well as future people are going to enter into the community. So super bullish on that. One recent collection that I just got into is the Azukis. And so I'm really a fan of how they've run their community and been able to cultivate, I think, a community that really cares about itself. And it's, beautiful artwork. So I really like that collection. There's a cool cats drop happening right now that I'm excited to be a part of afterwards. And also, I really like the crossover between, NFT artists and creators, and also more mainstream, right? So what Artifact did with CloneX, and now Artifact is, owned by Nike, is like, it's a pretty interesting phenomenon to see. And I think we're going to see more and more of that, right? I think we're going to see mainstream brands really embrace NFT technology. It's already happening, right? Gucci, Prada, Adidas, Nike, major sports teams. And so I think as this all goes out, a lot of the early innovators, I think, are still going to have really powerful communities. But I think there's also going to be these new projects that launch that are also really interesting. And a lot of it can be very slight alterations or innovations that make a difference. Another one that I like is my friend Paris just announced, not Paris Hilton, different Paris, Paris Cloud, the DJ. They announced their platform, Soundmint, and that has generative audio elements in addition to the generative visual elements. And so I think that's a unique innovation as well. So there's a lot going on. We're really excited to be powering a lot of these NFT sales from the technology side and the community side at Origin. We're looking forward to working with NFT creators as well as celebrities. We're doing a bit of a global push in the next couple of months as well. And so there may be some names that you all may not be familiar with in this audience, but that people potentially in Asia, for example, would be like, oh my God, like that is, you know, someone that we know and they're getting into NFTs. And so we're really, really excited about that as well.
Awesome. We have a couple minutes left. I want to do some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
First off, what surprised you more, the Artifact Nike purchase or the Blizzard Microsoft deal?
I was surprised by the Nike Artifact one actually, because I felt like, in a way, Artifact had so much more room to grow as an independent company. I think it's fantastic. It's great branding, and it's great validation for the community, but that was a bit surprising. The Microsoft Blizzard thing, that's like huge in a different way, right? That's like, you know, perhaps the most long-standing gaming entity of all time, right? Now being seen as this huge valuable asset as from one of the tech giants. So I think that's really interesting. But I am personally more intrigued about what's happening at the smaller levels, right? What are the new Web3 and crypto startups working on? What are the Web3 native games that are being developed as opposed to the old world coming into this new world?
Matthew, I see you picked up an Irene DAO piece. What do you think of the Simp DAO movement?
That's interesting. So I am not super knowledgeable about that area, to be honest, but I am supportive of different DAOs. Irene and I were in the same Telegram chat. It was a chat about Asians in Web3. And so there are a couple hundred people there. Someone made an announcement and she said hello. So several of us picked up pieces.
Nice. What are your thoughts on the V1 CryptoPunks?
So I think CryptoPunks are going to go down in history as like setting the stage for all of this happening, right? And I think that they will forever, you know, have that, I guess, like check mark in the crypto history books. I would love to see, you know, a little bit more like innovation, if possible, right? In terms of like, how do you spread the CryptoPunks brand to more of the mainstream, as opposed to just being kind of like this legacy art form. You know, what Bored Apes are doing, for example, I think is much more aggressive. There's also one key difference where apes, for example, allow owners to have full IP rights over the artwork, whereas for punks, like, you don't have that, right? And so I think that's a really interesting distinction. But I think they're obviously here to stay. I think that community is super strong, and it's phenomenal what they've been able to accomplish.
Most definitely. What are your thoughts on, you know, NFT securities? Are these NFTs that give IP rights or, you know, potentially revenue share? Are these gonna be you know, potentially risky with regulation coming up?
That's a really great question. I'm not necessarily the best person to answer, but I will take a stab at it. So there are a couple things to really consider, right? So, for example, if you sell ownership rights in something that's not yet complete, that makes it more like a security, because there's the expectation of profit from people's like ongoing work. But for example, if you sell royalty rights for something that is already complete, then the argument for it not being a security is much, much stronger, right? This actually just came in conversation when I was talking to, again, Justin Blau, who has done an amazing job being both a advocate for NFTs, but also now being an innovator and entrepreneur with his company, Royal. And so Royal allows fans to collect pieces of songs and get ongoing streaming royalties and other royalties from those songs. But those songs are finished, complete pieces of work, right? So there's no additional effort. So I think that's a really important distinction. I was really happy to be able to participate in the Royal Nas sale just like 2 weeks ago or so. And I think that's a very interesting model, right? Now, I think there are going to be NFTs in the future that are more explicit about future profit sharing. And I think that's a very, very interesting area of innovation. For example, I think there are going to be NFTs that represent commercial real estate that then get fractionalized, right?
Mhm.
That obviously has investment implications and looks a lot more like a security with these NFTs potentially replacing what a REIT would be, for example, right? And so I think in those cases, there probably needs to be a little bit more thought by issuers in terms of, okay, like who can we issue this to and what jurisdictions? What are some of the safeguards that we necessarily need to put in place? And so there's going to be a lot of innovation, I think, around how to structure these things. But I think that it's pretty much inevitable that we're going to see NFTs that represent financial streams coming forth in the next couple of years. I also think that regulation is today in crypto quite backwards, but I'm just hopeful that we'll figure it out at some point. There's a pretty good track record throughout modern history where a lot of innovators break new ground and they're playing in territory where regulations don't really exist, and it gets kind of murky, right? Whether that's Uber and Lyft and Airbnb helping build up the sharing economy before this concept of sharing economy workers existed, or what we're seeing in crypto today. It's really hard for the government to regulate crypto because it's so new. And because a lot of the principles and paradigms are so different than what they're used to. And so my view is they're trying to take archaic rules and try to figure out how crypto and NFTs fit into it. But in reality, that's going to change over time. The legal aspect is always lagging the tech aspect, but once the adoption is there, once use cases are there, it's going to be a necessity that the regulation is updated and made much more sensible for this new world that we're building.
Great, Matthew. So thank you so much for stopping by. Great to chat with you as always. I have like a billion more questions I wish we had time for. So we'll have to do it again soon. Well, one last thing I wanted to mention, Ryan and I have a DAO, and we might have a curated, client project for you. Let's chat about that later this week. But yeah, that's all for today. Good luck on the cool pets mint. I hope you get them all. But yeah. Any last
Thank you
thoughts,
so
shout
much.
outs you want to give? Where can the audience connect with you?
Yeah, so if you want to ask me more questions about what we're working on, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at Matthew Liu, just my name. Similarly on Instagram. And then our official company accounts are at Origin Protocol. And so that's always a good way to reach out. You can also join our Discord, www.originprotocol.com/Discord. We'll give you the redirect, and we're always open to talk to the community there. We do a lot of our development and our strategy sessions out in the open. We have a weekly community call where everyone's invited to attend. So anything that you'd like to learn about what we're doing with Story or our NFT sales or our other products for that matter, you can find us there. And so final shout out, I guess, would be for the product that we're unveiling soon, www.story.xyz. Keep your eyes open. I'm excited for many people in this community to be able to play around with it, give us feedback, hopefully launch successful NFT sales. And it's been an absolute pleasure giving you guys a sneak peek at what's about to be unfolded to the rest of the world.
Yeah, thanks for
Matthew?
the sneak peek, Matt. Thank you.
Thanks again.
All
We'll
right.
talk soon.
Talk soon. Thank you.
All right. More information on Matthew's Twitter, Origin Protocol Twitter, and story.xyz are available down in the comments section right below that like button, which you should have already smashed, but if you didn't, let us know you enjoyed the show. Ryan, we're going to be back on Friday. Any closing thoughts for us?
I'll see you guys in the office on Friday, right next to you, Logan. I miss you, bud.
See you then.
Bye.